In this episode, I'm going to take a break from the cars and go back to the simpler days of Restore It. A friend of mine asked me to restore an old S.Maw.Son's veterinary syringe he's had for many years, and I thought it'd be a good idea to make a video and share it here because of the lack of videos recently. With help from you guys, I've come to the conclusion that I should just post all of the restorations I do onto this channel. And if I keep everything in playlists, it should be easy to differentiate between the car restoration series and the antiques, toys, tools, etc. Before we get into the syringe, I want to quickly bring you up to date on the current projects and my plans for them. So the red 325i Touring is going to be stripped further and welding work is going to begin as soon as the Mercedes is done. The silver 325i Touring is on the back burner until the 316i, the Mercedes and the 325i Sport are finished. Then I'm going for a full nut and bolt restoration. Speaking of the Mercedes W123, this is the project that's holding me up a bit. At first, it was thought that only 4 spots needed welding work, but it turned out there were 17. We still have 8 left to do, but we're getting there, and once it is done, a more normal schedule will resume. The ice blasting for the Mercedes engine was due on the 15th of September, but has now been pushed back to the 30th because the factory job the ice blasting company had was cancelled. So that's all to come, along with a full respray and rebuild shortly after. And finally, the 325i Sport. This project was pretty much put on hold due to the one big situation we're all aware of back in March 2020. It stopped the postal service working properly, my freedom of movement was hindered, and the whole thing was a big mess. It's why I started making episodes on the silver Touring and why I took on my first customer project. I now have all of the new panels with the chassis, and now that the workshop has come back from taking the entirety of August off, lucky for some, work is going to continue very soon. And I'm very excited to have her back on the channel with fresh panels and a new paint job. Once it's back in the UK, the big rebuild will begin, and I'm hoping it's going to be one of the most detailed car rebuild series ever. One last thing before we get into the restoration, the workshop is also another thing that is taking a lot of my time. Not in a bad way, just in a time-consuming way that doesn't result in the start to finish type of videos I like to make. The part shelves have now got their own area, which is getting bigger and bigger by the day. The shelves were moved to make room for what is now going to be a wall of tools, some of which are on tool posts that are going to be bolted into the ground. Plans for the lathe have changed, it's now going against this wall where a bench once was. That bench is now over by the car lift to support all of the car tools that get regular use. There is still a lot of organising to do, but with things like these storage bins, everything will soon have its place, and it will be a better functioning workshop. And that's about it for the update. I'm sure I've missed a few things, but you get the idea. I've bitten off more than I can chew, and now I just need to keep chewing. Let's move on to this army veterinary syringe from around 1875. My friend tells me that they've had it displayed for years, but have grown tired of seeing it in its current state. They asked me if it would be possible to add some shine, and I said no problem. First things first, let's take it apart. Not a lot to it really, a nice and easy one to come back on. Before we can go any further, all of the parts need a good clean in the parts washer. Once everything was dry, I noticed this old O-ring still attached to the needle, so I removed it with a steel blade. Once it was off, I could then begin the cutting and polishing stages. Before we do that, I'd just like to thank our sponsor, Hone. When things go wrong with our cars, be it the brakes or the engine, for the most part we take care of it. The same should go for ourselves, and that's where Hone comes in. Testosterone levels have decreased substantially over generations. Our father's generation had testosterone levels that were 25% higher than ours today. 30 million men in the US have low testosterone that is affecting their daily lives, and testosterone is much more than just a sex hormone. Optimizing your testosterone can lead to increased energy, increased muscle mass, more focus, and a better overall mood. Hone helps men get testing and treatment for low testosterone levels with real physicians, real science, and real FDA approved methods of treatment. The best way to know if you need to optimize your testosterone levels is to get tested, and Hone allows you to do that from the comfort of your own home. Although I'm not a medical expert, Hone Health is, and they'll be there with you every step of the way. Order Hone's easy to use at-home assessment test today to learn your testosterone levels. For a limited time only, viewers get the at-home testing and a doctor's consultation for only $45. Click the link in the description below or go to honehealth.com/restore it to take advantage now. Big thanks to Hone, let's get back to it. So for the first stage of cutting, I'm using a brown cutting block that does just that. It's the most coarse block I have for brass. This will remove most of the imperfections and the tarnish due to oxidization, which is a natural, non-destructive process that happens to brass over time that has been exposed to air. In this case, it's been about 150 years of exposure. The inside of the rings were buffed with a rotary tool and tiny buffing wheels. It would have been a bit of a pain to do this without them. And there we have it, the first stage of cutting is complete. I'm now quickly going to go over the second stage of cutting, using a finer, less coarse, light blue block. It doesn't look much better on camera, but you really could see the difference in person. It's the last stage I'm most interested in, the polishing stage. And this particular polish is seriously good stuff. After 1 second of polishing, it's like a round brass mirror. And there we have it, the shine he was after. The final task before I reassemble it is probably one I should have done at the beginning, and that's to remove the small dent on the threaded side of the barrel. I used this piece of stainless steel rod and a hammer to smooth out the slight dent. With that sorted, I could now lay it all out and have a good look. The round gasket things that push the fluid were just very well cleaned. I couldn't find a decent replacement, and so I thought I'd keep it original. It's not like it's getting use anytime soon. I could then quickly rebuild it to finish the restoration. I know I just said it wasn't going to get any use, but I couldn't help myself, and so I filled it up and gave it a go. And it actually worked. I don't know if correctly, but it worked. And that's it for this episode. I hope the update was informative, and I hope you enjoyed the restoration. Thanks for watching, I'll see you next time.